Hello, Pamela.
Katie, good to see you.
Word's gotten around. You're in the process of home improvements?
Indeed, we are. You see, it's been 3 years since we lost your father. Also, it's expected that William will ascend to a higher position soon, and his new office is conveniently closer. And considering your mother's health condition, we thought it best to modify our home to accommodate her, to ensure we can look after her properly.
Ah, makes sense.
Though when I mention renovation, it's not overly luxurious. We're just converting the basement into a more livable area so Mom can find comfort. There will be a small kitchenette and a cozy living room for her.
Sounds like you're constructing a mini flat in your basement.
That's one way to put it, yes.
From my perspective, it might need a bit more space. You should consider an additional, sizable room.
Can you clarify?
Let's just say I have a tendency to accumulate things. Hence, there should be ample room for all my possessions.
Katie, didn't your mom have a discussion with you?
About what?
That once your mom settles in with us, you'll need to start living independently and start earning a living.
Oh, right. She did mention something along those lines. But you see, currently, I'm nurturing my writing ambitions. As a writer, I need to draw inspiration from every possible source. It's commonly said that family serves as the richest source of inspiration for a writer.
Yes, but you've been nurturing ambitions since your high school graduation. That's a decade ago now, and you haven't held down a job since. Naturally, pursuing dreams is important, but you must also find a way to sustain yourself in the interim.
Consider it this way. Once I pen my first bestseller, I'll secure an instant fortune. It's just that it's taking slightly longer than anticipated, that's all. I'm on the brink of the inspiration I need to commence my masterpiece.
A 10-year waiting period is a tad excessive, wouldn't you agree?
Rome didn't rise in a day. Masterpieces require time. Regardless of what Mom conveyed, we're destined to be roommates shortly. Ensure you design my room spacious and accommodating.
Hello, my love. Kindly send me a message when you wrap up at work. I need to discuss something with you regarding your sister.
Hello, darling. I just clocked out. I'm currently en route to our home.
Good, I'm relieved to have caught you in time.
What's the matter with my sister?
The issue is related to your mother's impending move to live with us. Your sister seems to have the notion that she'll be joining us as well. She even went so far as to claim she'll need a spacious room to accommodate all her belongings.
Yes, I'm aware. My mother sent a similar text to me. She informed my sister that it's time for her to become independent. Katie, however, decided to turn a deaf ear to it.
Is that so?
Yes, she's still persisting with her dream of becoming a writer or something similar. Despite a decade passing without a single piece of her work seeing the light of day, she continues with this fantasy. She portrays herself as an ambitious adult while in reality, she's just sponging off others, having never worked a single day since she finished high school.
I see.
I believe it's high time she faced reality.
Do you believe it's time to intervene?
I'll have a word with my mother about it first. If Katie approaches you about the living arrangement, make it clear that I am managing the situation.
Understood. You appear to be the only one capable of addressing this situation with her.
I've learned how to deal with her from my father. Meanwhile, brace yourself, she's likely to message you again soon.
No worries. I'll convey your message as is.
Pamela, I must ask. When will you arrange to collect my belongings? I found myself shouldering the task of packing entirely alone. The least that can be done is for you to retrieve it.
I've been informed your possessions are slotted for the final moving truck. If my estimation is correct, it should arrive sometime during the evening.
Is that so? Perhaps I shall indulge in a brief slumber until that time comes. Pamela, respond. What is happening here? The moving truck, where is it? Answer your phone now.
Why the panic?
What on earth is going on? Gerald? Why is he here?
Gerald.
My grandfather's sibling. My great-uncle. He is not a stranger. They call him the boss. He's intimidating, we've never seen eye to eye.
Oh, right. I've encountered him only once, so can't say I know him well.
That's not important. Just rush here now. Where's Williams? And my mom? Where the heck are you?
We're headed towards our home.
Why did you depart without me?
Eh? Were you expecting to accompany us?
Absolutely, I was. Gerald is rattling off about hauling all my belongings somewhere unfamiliar. Some friend's place of his, it seems. He's insisting that I'll be laboring in some factory. What the hell is he on about? I never agreed to any of this.
Apologies, I'm in the dark about this too.
It's not about what you've heard or not. Just race here to pick me up right now. He's cramming all my things into a van. Speed up before he carts everything away.
We've had this conversation multiple times. Williams is in charge of all house-related matters. I just follow his lead.
Fine then, give me your address. I'll quietly retrieve my stuff from the van and bolt to your place.
You should probably consult Williams first.
I can't reach him or Mom. That's why I've turned to you.
Katie. It's Williams.
At last. Williams, what's the mess?
I blocked you on my phone. I'm using Pamela's.
You blocked me? What for?
You don't seem to comprehend the gravity of the current situation. Let me lay it out. I've said this repeatedly. But you are not moving in with us.
Yes, I am. There's a dedicated room for me, isn't there? An expansive area for me and all my possessions. I relate it to Pamela to tell you.
Merely stating it doesn't make it true. I'm not the only one denying you residence here. Mom has conveyed it to you as well, hasn't she?
But I'm fully committed to launching my writing career. I can't concentrate on my writing if I'm on my own or if I start working.
How long until you become a writer?
That's unpredictable.
Show me a single piece you've completed in your decade-long pursuit of writing. Any submissions for publishing? Any accolades or acknowledgements for your work?
I haven't gotten to that part yet.
You squandered all of Dad's inheritance on a fancy laptop to blog and write. I suspect you just idle away on YouTube and other distractions. Is this your method of gathering inspiration for writing?
It's an integral part of the process. Without immersing yourself in inspiring content, you'll never create anything worthwhile.
Ownership is pointless if you're not creating meaningful content.
But I am. I'm constantly using it.
Sure, I'm aware. I came across your blog.
You did?
In all honesty, I've encountered adolescents who craft more articulate pieces than you. I took the liberty of delving into your inaugural piece from 8 years ago, tracing your progress through everything you've posted since. It's quite disheartening, but your growth as a writer seems non-existent.
What could possibly justify such an indictment?
You share your work semi-annually. One might assume that the considerable gaps between each post would be spent honing your craft. Your pieces are riddled with spelling inaccuracies and incorrect punctuation. Your narratives are, quite frankly, incoherent.
You simply don't grasp the depth of my work. This is my unique style. I've been pitching those blog entries to a renowned publishing house, in hopes of establishing myself in the field.
Ah, that publishing house. I'm well acquainted with your endeavors there too.
Are you?
I've seen your attempts to engage a popular writing blog, in hopes of capturing their attention. Your appeals are rather transparent. I noticed, hey, take a look at my work. Perhaps you could introduce it to your publisher? I'm certain you'll find my latest story captivating. We should absolutely collaborate. I've perused all your communique with that blogger.
So, you saw all that.
Evidently, you're unaware. The celebrated author you've been incessantly pleading to review your modest tales? She is our esteemed Aunt June. It's understandable if you failed to make the connection, given her pen name.
Is this real? I had no clue we had such literary genius in our lineage. I'm in absolute disbelief. Why didn't you mention this before?
Let's not lose sight of the matter at hand. She's pursued writing as a leisurely pastime for many, many years. Her primary profession is actually overseeing a publishing company. She is inundated with famous books and narratives regularly. Have you considered her response to your work, having perused it?
She actually saw my work? I'm sure she adored it.
Her response was more along the lines of, did this piece originate from a primate? I believe even a toddler could deliver a more comprehensible narrative.
What?
Katie, I need you to understand. You've been aspiring to become a writer for a decade, and yet, you've achieved little to nothing. You're currently unemployed and directionless.
How could you assert such things?
Is there any falsehood in my statements? Your efforts have yet to yield any significant accomplishments. With determination and dedication, the realm of possibilities is infinite. It's been echoed repeatedly by everyone, including myself, that to become a serious writer, you must be prepared to invest time and energy. Unfortunately, you seem to disregard this counsel. You could have chosen to pursue higher education, to master the fundamentals of writing, let alone how to create engaging literature. You were warned of the repercussions when we shared our decision to take in our mother. Did you ever even consider finding new accommodations?
I merely thought. Frankly, I didn't envision my family deserting me in this manner.
We couldn't have been more explicit. You will not be residing with us. You'll have to navigate life independently. There will be no financial assistance extended. We've been reiterating this for over a year. Don't play the victim as though this decision is abrupt.
What are my options now?
You should express gratitude for our assistance in securing you employment and a residence.
But my dream of becoming a writer.
There's no necessity to relinquish that dream. Even Gerald mentioned, if she resists the job and residence I've arranged, I won't dispute her choice. The situation now simply lacks the safety net you've been accustomed to. Your sustenance will be your sole responsibility.
I fear I'm not capable. I desire to be with you and Mom. Please allow me to stay with you.
Your pleas reek of entitlement. Enough. Welcome to the realities of life. Unless you pull yourself together, you risk being devoured by the world out there. I've exhausted my patience with this conversation. You do well to prepare for your impending departure.
Please, no. Don't forsake me.
Things didn't go the way Katie planned after that. According to the boss, Gerald, Katie moved into her one-room apartment near her job. It's a little small, but it came fully furnished and has everything she needs to live comfortably. I'm not sure what if she was trying to protest what was happening to her or try to get us to change our minds. But she locked herself in her apartment and said she was going on a hunger strike. That little act of rebellion ended after 3 days. After that, she had her first day of real work. Her boss chewed her out right away and I had she was crying like a baby. It turns out though that she's good at working with her hands. She got a hang of the job pretty quickly. Living on your own is a lot to handle, especially when it wasn't her choice. She needs to take things one step at a time. Her life's in her own hands now. We're watching from a distance, but now she finally knows what it means to work hard to make a living.